Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my out-of-box review for the high-grade Zaku 2 Black-Tristar's high mobility type custom mobile suit. Basically this is just a customized version of the Zaku 2 high mobility type for the Black-Tristar's use. This particular kit is able to make either the Gaia or the MASH version. The third one of the Black-Tristars, or Ortega, is going to have his own dedicated kit release that's coming out in a couple months, and so this one I've decided to go with the Gaia configuration for this. The MASH or configuration basically just has the shield on one side and then like the standard like Zaku 2 kind of rounded shoulder with the spikes on the other side, and it should use the long rifle, and I thought that was pretty much too close to the Char version, so I wanted to make this one more different from the Char's custom version, so I just decided to go with the Gaia configuration, which basically just puts a shield on both sides with all of these bazooka ammo, and then it'll be using the bazooka for that as well. So that is the kit. Let's go ahead and take a look around. The build, of course, is using probably 90% of the parts from the just regular Char's custom version, so it's not really going to be a whole lot different in terms of the parts or articulation. Basically the only new parts are the parts for the side of the chest. They don't have the Vulcan guns in there in the chest. The backpack is different and the lower legs are different, so a few pieces there on the lower legs. But that is pretty much going to be it. We do have a couple extra stickers, of course. Basically, there's going to be a sticker for the mono eye is one. These stickers here with the red circles on the front of the legs, those are stickers. There's a dark blue sticker there on the side of the leg to cover up part of this white part. And then on the backpack as well, let me stop this for a minute. These white trim parts on the backpack are stickers, and then that red part inside there's a sticker as well. And then of course we've got a couple of stickers for the sights on the weapons as well, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, basically I really liked the Char's custom version, and I really like this one too. It's mostly the same kit, just some slight changes here and there, so I think what you're probably going to want to see is these two kits next to each other, which I will get to momentarily. But first, let's just go ahead and take a closer look at this. I talked a lot about the articulation and everything, of course, in the Char's version, so if you want to see a little bit more in-depth about the articulation, you can go check out that video here. But if not, here is just some of the highlights of the articulation. The neck is on a double joint, so it can go forward and back like that, up about that far, down, something like that. I found it's kind of difficult to place the eye sticker. You have to judge how high or how low you want to place this so that it's going to actually look good. I think I've got it pretty much in the right spot there, but depending on the angle it can still look kind of derpy. It looks like he's looking up rather than like looking straight, how he's supposed to anyway. You'll just have to mess with that a little bit. The shoulders are able to come out very far forward, so pretty nice there, but standard for a lot of most recent high grades. But of course the nice gimmick that we get with this is that these side parts are able to come in a little bit as well. So when you bring that shoulder forward, you're able to bring in this whole part of the torso as well. So that is really nice. Here in the waist we have a pretty cool bend here. Let me move this arm out of the way to show you. It's going to have some really nice ab crunch there, so it can come pretty far forward to do that. I've found this one is a little bit more loose than my Char's custom version. Especially just this part here, it's kind of loose. You just have to just press it down and then it'll be stuck there. But so just be a little bit aware of that. You can turn only about that much, but it is a little bit of turn there, but again just kind of loose, so just be careful with that. I have the same movement, of course it's the same movement on the Char's custom version, but it just feels a little bit more loose in this case. The skirt armor is really nice, comes forward very nicely. It was never connected, so you don't have to separate it, it's already separated. Side skirts go out a little bit as well, but again, nothing too special there. The knees do have a really nice double joint there in the knee, so you're going to get some pretty nice movement, and then just with the side skirt being able to move out of the way, you can bring the leg nice and far up like that. Ankles are just pretty standard. They're nice. We do have a really cool feature in the feet that when you bend the toes down, the back sort of like automatically bends there. So that's a really cool feature. I like that quite a bit. So that's pretty cool, and that's pretty much it for the articulation. Everything else is pretty standard. The elbows do have a really nice double joint as well, so you can get a really nice full bend there in the elbow. So that is pretty much it. And as far as seam lines, it does have a couple really tricky ones. Mostly they're not bad at all. There really are only a couple. Here on the side of the leg there'll be a little bit of a seam you need to clean up there. And just behind the tubing you can see that there. The biggest issue that I have is this one here on the forearm. I really can't understand why this is such a big issue for this kit. On the back it's okay because we have this back part covering it up, but I think this should have been like, they should have tried to make this one or two parts, like this inner part and then this like cuff part as like two different parts. I think they could have done that. It's like this one that fits like on the top and then this one that you feed up onto the arm. Something like that. I really don't know why on a kit that has so much really nice, awesome new engineering that they would just have like such a terrible seam line like right there on the arm. So, and that's the kind of seam as well that when you're pulling the hands in and out, you're gonna separate that seam even more because of just the pressure of that is going to be pushing that seam apart. So that's probably one of my biggest complaints about this kit, but of course just with some glue and putty and just sanding you can get rid of that. But if you're just wanting to build out of the box, or if you're not really too good at removing seams or just not confident in it yet, that's going to give you a little bit of trouble. So anyway, let's talk about some of the accessories we've got for this kit. Let's talk about this stuff that we got that's the same as the Char's custom version. First, the first thing is hands. So we've got the two just holding hands there on the Zaku there, and then we also have an open hand for the left hand, which is basically a support hand for the gun, for the long rifle or the bazooka. You can use this for holding it up, or if the bazooka you can like put it on the top, whatever you want to do. And then we also have a trigger finger for the right hand, so you can only use one of the guns. You can't hold both of the guns at the same time unless you did a little bit of modifications to one of the handles or just something like that. But anyway, you only have one trigger finger is what I mean to say. Then we have our action-based connector. Again, a pretty nice action-based connector. It works really well. I think just a little simple thing there. And then we have our long rifle, which again is really awesome. I like this quite a bit, but of course it's not like really like necessary that you have to choose one or the other for whichever version you want to make. But for the Gaia version, according to the manual, it's using the bazooka, so I'm not going to use this, so that means I get to give this to another kit probably somewhere later down the line. I'm sure we're going to get just a standard release Zaku too, I mean just like a mass production type. So maybe give this to like a mass production type Zaku, make it sort of like a sniper unit or something. And then we have our bazooka, of course, which has the ammo clip that comes out and in and then back in, snaps into place, and it's nice and secure in there. It's not loose, it's not going to fall out at all. The sight is able to move, the secondary handle is able to move, the primary handle moves forward and back, which is always good for bazooka for putting it up over the shoulder. The bazooka has some pegs here on the side of the handle. Let me show you that. So that's where it's going to peg into the hand. I'm sorry, this rifle, long rifle, has the same thing as well on both hands, so you could hold it in the left or right, but we don't have a trigger finger for the left, so that's it. Nothing articulated on this, by the way, I forgot to say it, but there isn't. And then we have our heat hawks. We have a deactivated version that has a peg that you're supposed to peg into the side skirt armor, which I can't really figure out how it's supposed to fit. The manual shows it that you're supposed to put it in like this, like standing straight up, but because of this like power, this energy cable here on the side, it doesn't fit there. So it says you're supposed to put it like that. It sort of works, but I figure like with the slightest touch, it's just gonna like fall out of there because it's barely plugged in. So that's to fit, supposed to fit onto these side skirts on one or the other. Maybe it'll fit better on this side. Something like that is not bad. but I don't really think it fits on there really well in any way. There is a hole here on the back, and as I mentioned in the Char's review as well, it doesn't fit in there, so it fits barely, but it feels really, really tight. Like you're probably going to break that peg trying to pull it out of there, so you might want to just sand that peg a little bit to make it fit a little bit nicer. And then of course we have the active version that doesn't have a peg, so this is the one that you're going to want to hold in the hand, and all it's going to do is just pop down into the hand like this, and that's it. So it is going to be a little bit loose in there. You might want to just, I mean, after painting it should be definitely plenty tight. So if you're not going to paint, then you could also just put a little glue on there as well. On this first, and then put it into the hand once the glue is dry, and it'll be more sticky. So that's all the stuff that we had with the Char's version. We do have some new stuff with this, and that is the Zaku machine gun, which I really don't know why this was not included with the Char's custom version, because I feel like it really should have been. So we have the machine gun, which has the secondary handle, which swings side to side like that, and then the sight, which can swing up and down like that. All very standard movement there. The machine gun ammo clip can come off. There we go. But there's nothing really special, not really any particular reason why you're going to want to do that. But we do also have an extra ammo clip, which you're supposed to put on the back skirt. And I found this doesn't really fit all that well either. It's also kind of loose. So you're supposed to just use this, putting a square peg in a round hole for some reason. So just supposed to put that there, and then it's kind of on there, but it's again also not very secure. So that can just be a little bit of a problem there. I also just wanted to compare the rifle to the RG rifle. So this is the HG one, the new one that we've got now for the Origin version, and then this is the RG version. The RG version does have a little bit more in terms of like the smaller details, but overall they're going to be very, very similar. Of course the RG does have the handle with the part that flips out. The secondary handle on the HG version is rounded, and on the RG it's flat, so a little bit different there. And there's going to be some slight differences in the sight. The sights are going to be a little bit different. The ends of the barrel are a little bit different. From the top down we can see just the barrel himself is slightly different, but everything on the back half is going to be very, very similar, so almost identical there. Anyway, I like it quite a bit, but again, I'm not going to use this for this kit, so I'll just have to just keep this to the side and save it for another kit a little bit later on down the line, or something, I don't know, find some use for it. But that's it for the accessories. Now I think what you really want to see is this kit compared to the Char's custom version. So let me move this a bit to the side, and here's that. Now, the Char's custom version is definitely at first glance looking a little bit taller, but I think that's definitely just due to his commander antenna there. Speaking of which, there was quite a few extra parts. So for example, we do have the head with the commander antenna if you wanted to make your Zaku a commander type. It's not supposed to be, but you could of course do that if you want. We also have an extra shield in purple, so if you're going to be painting it doesn't matter at all, but if you're not going to be painting, if you wanted one of the shields to be in purple, you could use these parts instead. Then just a couple other options here as well. These white parts for the top of the feet, if you wanted those to be just all white instead of the black part there for the top of the feet, you have that option. Those are extra. This extra shoulder part for this side, you can see those aren't symmetrical. It's dark blue on this side and purple on that side. It's supposed to be like that, but if you wanted them to be the same, you could use these dark blue parts, and then they would be the same on both sides. And then here is the other shoulder armor if you wanted to make the MASH custom version, and then an extra inside the shoulder piece for this. So that is that. Then we have this chest armor piece in like this dark gray black color. Again, it's supposed to be purple like that, but if you wanted it to be this black dark gray color, you can use that as well. Then we just have a couple of extra thruster bells here, which you can just use for pretty much anything. And then this piece, which if you remember is the part that connects the bazooka onto the backpack of the Char's custom version. I went ahead and left this on here for demonstration. So if you wanted to make like the MASH version and use the long rifle for the high mobility type, you could use the two bazookas for the Char's custom version, because it has two ports on here on both sides for the bazookas, so you could hold a bazooka on both sides. Would be pretty cool, I think. So that'd be pretty cool for your Char's custom version, just have them all bazookaed out. But that is it. So here's just a look at the two of them side by side. Of course, they're going to be very, very similar. The differences, as I pointed out before, are going to be here on these parts on the chest, no Vulcans there, and then of course the legs and the backpack. Everything else is going to be exactly the same. So here's just a look around at those. Despite how similar they are, I think they're different enough that like when you have two of them side by side, or even if you collected a whole team of them and made like a squadron of 3, 4, or 5 of them, there's enough differences in the variations that you can do that you can make it more unique. Even if you wanted to have two like shoulder spiked shoulders on one of the Zakus, you can do that just with some of these extra parts. So just these extra parts give you a lot of different options for customizing it in exactly how you want it, or you can make it exactly how it's supposed to be. It's totally up to you. So that's gonna just about do it for my out-of-box review for this kit. Once again, this was the Origin version of the high mobility type Zaku 2, the Black-Tristar's custom, to be used for either Gaia or MASH. If you guys have any questions, comments, leave those below. What did you think of the kits? Do you think it's different enough from the Char's custom version, or too much of the same that you only really want to buy one? And if you only want to buy one, which one would you want to buy? Overall, I think it's different enough to warrant buying both of them, especially if you're just a fan of Zaku's, and if you're a fan of the Origin. I think they are different enough in terms of just their weapons, the designs. The high mobility parts do look pretty nice on this, so that is definitely going to give it a little bit of a different flavor than just the standard Zaku 2. So I think it is definitely impressive, and that's, I think, what it should be. One thing that I know I did forget to mention once again is that the mono eye, of course, can be turned. There's a switch up under the head that you can just press that and you can turn the mono eye one way or the other. It's pretty simple to do, so I turned that a little bit to get it in this pose. I turned it a little bit off to the side. So just keep in mind that you can do that if you so choose. Otherwise, again, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Any questions, comments, leave those below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time.